Okay, this is John. Start my new YouTube channel here, all about sports, and probably throw some music and movies in there too. Just please watch the profanity. Uh, don't want like any like bad language or stuff like that. I mean, it's okay if you say like some other words, but just don't be like stupid. Okay, let's cut to this chase. Let's start with baseball. First of all, the World Series, the Mets getting in there. Never thought I'd see the Mets make the World Series. They were at the bottom before the All Star break, and they have four guys in their lineup with a 180 batting average or lower. That's god awful. That's terrible. All right, but then they go out and they get guys like Cespedes, Wanya Uribe, Kelly Johnson. Like Cespedes is a really good player, but then they picked up some, good utility guys that did their job. Pitching's been great all year. And you got a guy like Wilmer Flores who finds out in the middle of the game that he's gonna be traded. Come to find out that he's not gonna be traded. So a couple nights later, the guy hits a walk-off home run to win the game. Now, that's crazy. But they have other guys that have stepped up. Granderson's been great. Uh, Cespedes has been great since they got him at the All Star break. That was just a resurgence. The team just came together once they got him. Uh, what can we say about Daniel Murphy? Holy cow! This guy just came out of nowhere. He continues to hit home runs like crazy. Uh, really happy for David Wright. He's been fighting injuries like crazy past few seasons. He's been loyal to the Mets. They haven't let him go. Uh, he's he's playing well. He's finally back healthy, and they've had other guys like Duda step up. He's been cold for a while, but he finally got hot the other night and hit a home run. Uh, but you just got a bunch of good players. Like I said, their pitching just lights out. Probably got one of the best starting pitching in baseball. Probably the best. Them and then the Dodgers. And you saw what they did to the Dodgers. You saw what they did to the Cubs. When the Cubs uh, beat St. Louis, I said, okay, nobody's gonna beat Chicago. But then the Mets go out and they sweep him. They swept him. Did not see that coming. I thought that series was gonna go 6 or 7, at least 6. But these guys they're on a mission. You know, been playing great baseball. I'm not a Mets fan. I'm a Yankee fan, but they deserve to win it. So if they won it, I'd be fine with it. Let's get to Kansas City now. This is a team for a long time who was very very bad too. They haven't been good in a long time. Last year, they got to the playoffs. Surprised everybody. Made it to the World Series. Lost to a very tough San Francisco Giants team. You know, a lot of teams, or a lot of people thought, okay, you know, it's just kind of a fluke. They had a lucky year. They go back to the playoffs this year, win their division. You know, uh, lost a couple guys, but you know, they picked up some, you know, guys like Johnny Cueto at the All Star break. You know, and they just continue to play great baseball. They have a they have a very tough lineup. They have great pitching, good bullpen, very good bullpen. You know, you got Herrera in there, and then Wade Davis, who actually used to be a starter when he first came out. This guy's only 26 years old, so he's uh he's he's played pretty well. Um, Now, who do I think is gonna win the series? This is a tough one. Um, it's a tough one. I think it really could go either way. You know, Mets got a pretty decent lineup. They've been hitting the ball like crazy. They got great starting pitching. The Kansas City Royals have great and they probably got a little better offense than the Mets. You know, they're very fast. They get on base. You know, they move the ball. They steal bases. They bunt. They play small ball. So they're very dangerous when they get on the base. Got good defense. You know, good pitching. They probably have a better bullpen than the Mets, but the Mets have better starting pitching. But if you get into the seventh inning with their Royals start with the Royals bullpen, you know it's pretty lights out. They do have, you know, some guys that aren't that great in the bullpen, you know, but Davis and Herrera, you know, are both very good. You know, Herrera is a animal. He throws like 96 miles per hour. He can give you a couple innings. Davis can, if you need him to come in the eighth inning, he can give you a couple innings. So, but the Mets starting pitching is crazy. Uh, you got the Grom, the Dark Knight, Matt Harvey, um, and then Syndergaard and Bartolo Colon. You know, Matz, he's very good. Thinking about starting him in the World Series. Um, Now they their bullpen's pretty pretty good. It's not you can get to it, you know, but it's not bad. So, I my prediction, I've been saying, you know, if the Royals get back to the World Series, I can't see them losing. But from seeing what the Mets have done, you know, everything everything seems to be working right. You know, so seeing what they beat the Dodgers, and then they swept Chicago. So I like the Mets to win this series in 7 games. It's gonna be a long series. It's definitely gonna go 6. I think it'll go 7. I want to see if Daniel Murphy can keep it up. You know, they have had a week off, so that could the layoff that could affect them. you know, guys who go on a roll, and then you have a layoff like that, that momentum, kind of goes away. So hopefully he can pick up where he left off and hit some more dingers out of the ballpark. So I like the Mets to win in 7 games. That's my that's my prediction. I'll be happy with whoever wins because, like I said, they both deserve it. Okay? Now, let's get to the NBA. NBA starts tomorrow also. So you're going to have the World Series Game 1 on, and you're going to have the open night NBA. So you got the Bulls facing off against Cleveland. Derrick Rose, who, I love him, but he got he's been so injury prone, and he had a great year last year. Had a little couple injuries last year, but nothing too bad. Uh, he had a broken bone in his face at practice, but he played the other night in the last preseason game. Did pretty good. Played like only 10 minutes, but he scored 8 points. Uh, yeah, new head coach, Fred Hoiberg. I love Tom Thibodeau. He was a good coach, great defense. They always had a pretty good defense with him, but they just didn't have an offense when they got to the playoffs. You know, they couldn't score, couldn't put the ball in the hoop. So uh, with those, with adding those pieces like a Pau Gasol, uh, Jimmy Butler, who they've had, and Derrick Rose, they got guys that can score. It just didn't make sense that they couldn't score in the playoffs. I know Cleveland's a good team, but when you get to the playoffs and you can't score, year after year, they had trouble on offense, and I thought this was a year last year that they would uh, beat Cleveland because you had no Kyrie Irving was banged up, uh, he didn't play much, and then no Kevin Love, so it was just the LeBron show. But he had other guys step up like Delvedova, uh, Tristan Thompson kill us with the rebounds. I say us because I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. And so they lost the series in 6 games. But we'll see how they do. Derrick Rose, hopefully he's healthy. He's supposed to play tomorrow. Cleveland, I think they'll be tough. Irvin's going to be out for a while. But they signed Thompson back. They, Anderson Varejão's healthy. Um, you know, they they got Kevin Love back. He's healthy. So, they should be pretty good. Definitely, I think they're the favorites in East. I think Chicago is probably second, and then you got Toronto, who's tough. But I like Chicago and Cleveland for the Eastern Conference Finals this year. Those will be your two. Watch out for the Miami Heat. I think they're gonna make a little run and surprise some people. Dwayne Wade's been saying that they're gonna surprise some people. So watch out for the Heat. But I'm excited for tomorrow. You know, it'll be interesting to see what the ratings are with the World Series and then the opening night for NBA. So I don't really know who did the scheduling with that to schedule opening night with two very uh, popular teams with Chicago and Cleveland, and then World Series Game One. Both start at 8 o'clock. So we'll see how that goes. Well, should be a good night for sports. So this is John Parks signing off. I'll be putting more videos up. My next one will probably be about college football and the NFL. So, alright, folks, have a good night. Peace.